Hi Super Friends, a really quick late night video, honestly of niche interest, but something that I really care about, so I thought I'd share with you. You've probably heard by now that the Wii Shop Channel is shutting down. That's right, if you are one of the dozens of Americans like me that still has their Wii hooked up to their television, you may know by now that the old Wii Shop Channel is getting ready to shut down. Now, it's not all going to close down at once. There's been some misinformation about this or some misconceptions. I want to make sure you understand. The channel is actually going to be open till early 2019. What's happening on Monday at what I've heard is 1 p.m. Pacific time is that you're no longer going to be able to add points to the Wii Shop Channel. So that means that even though the store will still be open, you can't actually get any new money in the channel anymore. So if you're ever planning on buying anything on the Wii Shop Channel before, the end of next year, that means you need to have those points converted by the Monday that the service shuts down. So why should anybody care about this? Well, Wii Virtual Console contains a number of unique games that actually never made their way over to Wii U and 3DS Virtual Console. Yes, there are plenty of great games on both their services, but there's a lot of unique games on Wii's Virtual Console that didn't make their way over, and we don't know how many of those are going to come to Switch whenever they do what they're going to do there, and how many aren't. And that's important, because if you want to play these games on a Nintendo console, this is the only way to do it. Now, I could go down a long list of these, but I don't think that's really a good purpose for this video. Some very helpful people out there on Reddit and other places have already compiled lists, in fact. So you can go and see what unique Wii Shop Channel games are out there that are only on that particular version of Virtual Console. And then you can cross-reference that with other sources, like the NES Classic Mini, or some of the emulation sets that you can purchase on Steam and things like that, to get an idea of what's actually unique there and what you want to go for, what you might want to grab, what you might want to bank a few points against so you can buy them later this year. Again, you don't have to run out and grab all the games right now, but you do need to get the points. That means you need an idea of how much money you want to have laid aside. We'll get to that in just a second. There's also a second and easier to overlook part of this, and that's WiiWare. And yes, I know you're probably going to laugh right there at the very words WiiWare. But the fact of the matter is that despite the dozens and dozens of mediocre, lackluster, and forgettable pieces of software in WiiWare, there were also a lot of real gems in there. And unlike this emulated stuff from Virtual Console that you can, potentially emulate on another platform, depending on how you feel about doing that, the WiiWare games don't exist anywhere else, some of them. They are going to be lost to history when the service shuts down, unless they're brought back on another service, which is probably not going to happen for most of them. There's some really unique WiiWare stuff out there, like Konami's really interesting Rebirth series, so things like Gradius Rebirth and Contra Rebirth and Castlevania Rebirth. Those games are really worth looking at, or Final Fantasy My Life as a King, or things that just exist in that place, and there's a lot of them. And again, people have already written wonderful articles about this, so rather than me listing all those off here, I just want to give you an idea what you might want to think about when it comes to banking your money if you're going to do it before that Monday cutoff that's coming up very quickly, that midday Monday. You really want to probably get this done on Sunday. When I'm filming this very early in the morning on Sunday, getting it up as quick as I can, so hopefully you can take a look at that and grab as fast as you can. So what are we talking about here? Well, first, you're probably going to think about the fact that if you're buying Virtual Console games, they tend to range in cost between $5 and around $10 to $12. 5 or 6 for NES for Japanese import games, all the way up to 10 to maybe 12 for things like, say, Smash Brothers is 10, I believe. It's 1,000 Wii points, $10 American. I'm speaking in American dollars here. WiiWare titles tend to run also in the 5 to 10 range, although something like My Life as a King will actually run you 15. There's also a couple of little things you're going to want to look for there, like, for example, the really excellent Space Invaders Get Even. I'm a Taito nut, and so for me that's a must-buy. It's actually a really cool game. You buy it for $5, but then it has DLC within the game. You have to go into the game and buy extra packs with that, so it actually costs $20. It is debatable whether that's worth $20 to you. It is to me, because I think it's a really neat game, and I tend to buy almost anything with a Space Invader on it. That be more marginal for you. Arkanoid likewise has DLC like that. I don't recommend the Bubble Bobble stuff on Wii. Didn't think it was nearly as good. Again, you can dig up the list yourself. So what you want to be doing is sitting down and going, okay, well, how many of these games do I want? You make your list, and then you think, okay, $5 to $10, $12 a game. how much money do I want to bank in this thing so over the next few months I can go out there and actually purchase these, back them up, and have them. Now, understand that this is a risk too, because when that service shuts down in January of next year, that's it. You're not going to be able to re-download these, and that means that when your Wii dies eventually, or your Wii U, if you choose to transfer them to Wii U, because you can do that up to that point, these are largely going to be lost to you. So you're taking a risk. It's only going to last as long as the hardware lasts. Is that worth it to you? I don't know. It is to me up to a certain point. So, you know, I don't know how much spare money you got laying around. You can buy Wii points in denominations as small as 10 and as large as $50 at a time. It is very easy, if you feel like grabbing a lot of the unique stuff, to spend several $100s that way. If you're going to be a completionist, it's a ridiculous amount of money, and I can't in good conscience advise that unless you're a collector and you're going to be laying this aside to sell to somebody in 30 years. But if you actually want to play the games, frankly, you could spend a lot. Special recommendations on that, I really do that. People have already done the legwork for you. There's some fine articles out there about this right now that you can Google and grab. Once again, Wii Shop Channel, WiiWare, Wii Shop Channel Virtual Console exclusives. Go find those things. Look at the things you want to play. Biomiracle Oompa or whatever it might be. So I know this is niche. I know it's weird. I'm hard at work on the next episode of Hot Blip and a Jump, and I just wanted to take a little time away from that tonight and drop this little PSA down for you because it's something I really care about. Anyway, remember that with Wii Wi-Fi, if you have a USB wired Ethernet adapter, that can speed things up a little bit in this process instead of using Wi-Fi, because Wii Wi-Fi can be a little slow. But if you're going to do this, do it quick. Do it before they shut it down, and it takes a long time to enter all that credit card information in that old system for those Wii points. So do not forget, say the name of your county, which you will need, or the exact spelling of the city you live in. Do it now. Do it today. Don't wait to the last possible second. Anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks for supporting me and everything you do for Hot Blip and a Jump, Pockets Full of Soup, etc. I'm Jared, and I'll see you next time.